Hey folks, let's play a game. Name a World War I first-person shooter. Name another World War I first-person shooter. Name a third World War I first-person shooter. That doesn't count and you know it. I've been playing Verdun for a few years now and really only picked it up out of curiosity. That curiosity mostly being, how would a squad-based first-person shooter based on the Great War turn out? Especially due to the oversaturation of World War II shooters. Well, this extremely tough and somewhat horrifying shooter is above all else just really fun. In fact, the developers of Verdun have released a standalone expansion recently named Tannenberg, which focuses on the eastern front of the Great War. So, without further ado, let's go over the top and begin looking at Verdun. So as previously mentioned, this game is a first-person squad-based shooter. There are several game modes beside the standard frontline mode, those being Rifle Deathmatch, in which you fight enemies in a free-for-all battle, Squad Defense, in which you fight off endless waves of bots, and Attrition Warfare, where kills earn you better weapons and perks. And I have basically no footage for any of these because absolutely nobody ever plays them, so let's skip straight to frontline mode. This mode will have you playing as either the Entente or Central Powers in trench warfare. The objective is simple: hold your trench during the defense round, and go over the top and take your opponent's trench during the attack round. If you could push the enemy all the way across the map, or at least have more territory when time runs out, you win. This being World War I, however, more often than not it absolutely will end in a draw. But not to worry. Depending on your army, you get to explore all kinds of early 20th century weaponry, ranging from the standard bolt-action rifles, which by the way will jam if you don't cycle the brass between shots, to machine guns, and even the flamethrower and trench club. And while the Central Powers are German-specific armies, the Entente Powers get to play as the US Doughboys, Marines, Tommies, French, Belgian, Scottish, and Canadian troops. Pfft, Canadians. What? Did they tell the troops that the enemy had the puck? That is a joke. The Canadian army is one of the most formidable forces any enemy will face. Seriously, look up their military history. It is terrifying. Anyway, remember how I said this game was hard? It's hard. This is one of those shooters where one shot is almost always guaranteed to be one kill, with the exceptions of being shot with small caliber weapons at a distance, but even then that's not a guarantee. On top of all of that, we're talking barbed wire, artillery, and poisonous gas. So, how's a fella supposed to even the odds? Well, the level up system in this game is pretty interesting. Each squad has 4 roles with 3 loadouts. As you personally level up, you gain points which are used to unlock newer loadouts. However, to gain higher levels of artillery and other squad bonuses, you need to level up collectively as a team. Meaning, you need to play with the same people fairly often to get these bonuses. Now, unfortunately, very few people are playing this game at any given time, so you may end up playing with the exact same people out of sheer necessity. That being said, the massive scale of battles, wonderfully designed maps, except Flanders, I hate that map almost as much as the people who fought there, and extremely intense gameplay do make for a very enjoyable experience. And now let's check in with our boys on the Eastern Front. Tannenberg is a standalone expansion which was released in November of 2017. This expansion will have you fighting as either the Austrian or Russian armies. First things first, the Austrian weapons are insane. A bizarre 8-shot revolver, whatever in the heck this thing is, and sabers. The gameplay is quite different from Verdun, however. Since there wasn't much trench warfare on the Eastern Front, you won't be doing many over-the-top charges. Instead, you will need to be taking and holding various sectors across the maps. The more territory you hold, the faster your enemy's points are drained, with more points being drained if you hold the center territory. But here's where it gets interesting. These sectors all contribute to your attacks. If you hold the artillery trench, then you get to call in bombardments. If you get the recon sector, then you can call in recon planes. So along with winning the matches, you'll want to hold as much territory as you can, solely for the bonuses. Now, these battles are enormous with 64 players. Ideally. Unfortunately, this game has the same issue with Verdun, with very few people actually playing at any given time. Unlike Verdun, however, the remainder of players are filled with bots until someone takes their slot. While this ensures actual gameplay, it is super easy to fight the bots, and if one team has more than one human player, they are almost always guaranteed victory. Really, the main reason that I'm reviewing these games, aside from the fact that I really enjoy them, is to get them some more attention. I totally understand that a World War I shooter is really a niche concept, and the difficulty can easily turn off many gamers used to conventional shooters. But this game has given me literally hundreds of hours of entertainment and is a great way to kill some time and experience warfare on an entirely different front. So, if anything I've said sounds good to you, then I would recommend giving Verdun and Tannenberg a try. They're very often marked down during the Steam sales, and Verdun can be found on the PS4 and Xbox One. The trench may be clear, and your army may advance, but sometimes, Tipperary is just so far away.